Hello, everyone, and welcome live to the World Racing Network for championship racing here in the National Sim Racing Association Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. That is right, tonight is the final race of the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series season, and we will have it all for you live right here on the World Racing Network. Hello, everyone tuning in at home. I am Mitchell Adams, and I will be taking you through tonight's championship race, where we have a lot to talk about coming in to tonight's race. We are live slightly earlier than normal so that we have enough time to get in discussing everything that we need to talk about. Let's start things off with the playoff point standings, because that is what we care about here tonight. Adam Pettit comes into tonight with a 29-point lead over Nate Maurer. And there was some doubt as to whether or not Adam Pettit would be able to race today, but looking out on track, that 83 has put in a time, so he is here tonight. Nate Maurer in the 971, 29 points back. Philip Scott in third, 34 points back, and Trey Whited in fourth, little bit further back, 84 points back. But it is those four drivers who are the only ones in the playoffs with a mathematical chance at winning the championship after tonight's race. So we are going to be keeping our eyes on them all night long. We have just under 3 minutes left in practice for tonight's Beer Street Journal season finale. Again, a huge thank you to our friends at Beer Street Journal for all the support they have given the National Sim Racing Association, WRN. They've been crucial in helping bring Thursday night racing to us this year. We could not do it without their support, so go give some love to Beer Street Journal and all the other series sponsors who are down in the video description. Taking a look out onto the racetrack, it is the 2 machine of Justin White in that Grinds car. He is the fastest in practice as of right now. He clocked a lap just over 30 seconds, a 30.078. Second place on the speed charts is Brock Whited. We have not seen Brock for several races, so good to see that 31 car back out on the racetrack. Nate Maurer, your first of the championship contenders, he sits in third on the practice charts. His championship rival Trey Whited rocking a new scheme this week. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the broadcast as well. He is fifth in the practice speed charts. Philip Scott much further back down. Philip is 15th on the speed charts. Adam Pettit even further back, 18th of 18 to take a lap here in practice. So that 99 car and 83 car, they've got work to do to try and get ready for qualifying in the race if they want to be competitive, especially with Nate Maurer and Trey Whited as fast as they are looking right now. If you missed the article as well on WRN's website, we shared it on all our social medias. You can follow us at WRN Broadcasting on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Put out an article recapping the season for all 4 of these drivers who could walk out of here today with the championship. Of course, you look at, the 31 wrecks hard into the 33 there to cap off practice. Both those cars fast, though, in the top 5 on the speed charts. But like I was saying, we put out an article recapping the season for all your championship 4, and the big things to know for each of them. Adam Pettit, most wins of the season coming into tonight's race with 6 wins. Nate Maurer follows just behind him with 5. Philip Scott has 3 wins on the season. Trey Whited has 1 that came back at Talladega. Only 2 of these 4 drivers have not finished outside the top 10 during the playoffs, that being Philip Scott and Trey Whited. Neither of them have a finish worse than 10th place during the 2022 playoffs. Trey Whited does not have a DNF all season long either. Really consistent run for that 33 that's put him to this point in the season. But again, all those drivers going to have to work to catch Adam Pettit here as we switch over to qualifying. Philip Scott going to be one of the first takers out on the racetrack. Going to be an 18-car field for us here to end the 2022 season. And already looking ahead to next season as well, we'll provide some information on the schedule that the NSRA has put out for the 2022 season on our social medias later next week. There's some things we still have yet to announce on WRN. Make sure to stay tuned for all of that information as Philip Scott crosses the line to put his first lap, or get that first lap started. A lot of drivers out taking time. Some names we have not seen here in quite a while. We mentioned Brock Whited back on track again. How about the 37 of Zach Howell? He's actually got number 3 on the car, being scored as number 37. So that's one of those that's going to throw me off here in the booth tonight. We have actually not seen Zach Howell all season long. He is a familiar name for those of you who are NSRA fans. Have not seen this driver on track all season long, though, and right away, well, he was at the top of the charts. Trey Whited knocks him off, though, in the Sizemore Motorsports 33 machine. Another driver we have not seen too much this season is Patrick Morrison. He was in the booth last week. Got to give a huge thank you to Simtrax Broadcasting for stepping up and producing last week's race while I was out of town. So big thank you to them. And Patrick here in tonight's field. Lap number 2 for Trey Whited. Won't be quite as fast as the first one, but it still sits on the pole for now. And just as I say that, Ira Kohlhaas goes and grabs that top spot on the speed charts on his first lap. Ira still has another lap to improve. Adam Newton now jumping up to the top of the charts with his second lap. There's that number 94 of Patrick Morrison. Went from the broadcast booth last week to the track this week, and we got Simtrax Broadcasting out in the chat. If you didn't see the poll we put up as well, asking you, the viewers, who do you think is going to bring home the 2022 championship? Adam Pettit, Nate Maurer, Philip Scott, or Trey Whited? There's a poll out in the YouTube chat. You can select the driver you think is going to take home the win. Simtrax Broadcasting's money is on Adam Pettit. We'll see if that ages well or not. Adam Pettit just finished lap number 2 of qualifying, 7th. Currently on the speed charts. So that's definitely a pickup from practice, but still not quite as up toward the front as all the other 3 championship contenders here tonight. Nate Maurer just put in lap number 1, went to 5th on the speed charts. Still has one more lap to go. Currently the highest playoff contender here, or driver with a chance at winning the championship here tonight. We're going to be focusing on those 4. That driver currently is Trey Whited. We'll see if Nate Maurer can top that lap. No, Maurer's second lap slower. So of your 3 championship contending drivers, Trey Whited going to start the furthest up front. Currently sitting 3rd, Philip Scott 4th, Nate Maurer 5th, and then Adam Pettit 10th. Of course, there are more drivers looking to take a time. This is a driver fastest in practice, Justin White. We'll see what kind of speed he has here for lap number 2. Also going to be slower than the first. Lap number 1 seems to be where all these drivers are finding their speed. This is Jason Gracias in the number 1 car. Jason as well is having a fantastic season here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. And in fact, Jason won last week at Phoenix. That was his 5th win of the season, not full-time, so he's not in the playoffs, but another driver looking to disrupt this championship picture, but he will start from 7th place at the moment. That looks like all the times we are going to get here in qualifying. So starting the race from the pole is going to be driver of the number 19 machine, Adam Newton. This will be his first career pole as well for Adam Newton. Best start so far this season was the 2nd place at Kentucky. Gonna get one better than that here in qualifying, though, and we will take you through your starting order here in just a moment. Waiting for some drivers to take to the grid. Like we said, it is going to be Adam Newton, driver of the Goodwrench number 19 machine. Starting from your pole, Ira Kohlhaas going to roll out from the outside pole in second place. Then in third, Trey Whited looking to pick up some points tonight. In fourth, Philip Scott. In fifth, Nate Maurer, driver second in points. Starting in sixth is Justin White in the Grinds number 2 machine. In seventh place, Jason Gracias in that Max Graphics Bagcraft number 1 car. Starting in 8th place, Tom Lester in that Fox Racing machine. 9th place, Bryce Hunter in the Dr. Pepper 49. In 10th, not on the grid yet, is Adam Pettit in the Anything EC number 83 machine. Then rolling off in 11th is Zach Howell in the Oreo number 3 car. Starting in 12th, the number 9 of Steven Lechensky. 13th is the 77 of Doug Neal. 14th, the number 94 of Patrick Morrison. Starting in 15th, the 28 of Sam Kohlhaas. Robert Richards rolling off from 12th. Won the last time we were at a mile and a half. It was his first win in his NSRA career. Then in 17th, Brock Whited not taking a qualifying time, nor did Jason Shu, the other number 3 in the field. That takes you through all 18 cars who will start tonight's race. Taking a look at our poll out in the chat, we had 3 people vote. 2 votes for Adam Pettit, 1 for Trey Whited, the underdog here in the championship fight. Getting a vote out there in the chat. We're going to go ahead and close that poll, but feel free to chime in at any time in our YouTube chat with who you think is going to win. And just to say hi to us, let us know if you're watching what you think about all the on-track action here tonight. It should be a good 100 laps in the Beer Street Journal season finale at Las Vegas. And it is going to be Adam Newton leading the field to green for the first time this season. Ira Kohlhaas to his outside. This is going to tie Ira's best start as well at a second place at iRacing Super Speedway for Ira Kohlhaas. His best qualifying effort so far this season, so strong front row, but watch 3rd through 5th. Those are 3 of those championship contenders. Adam Pettit starting back in 10th, leads the points, and the green flag is in the air, and we are racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Who will win the championship? We will know in 100 laps. As the field heads out of turn number 2, it's the 19 of Adam Newton off to a solid start. Getting out to that race lead early on. The battle for 3rd place is where the action is. Trey Whited trying to fend off Philip Scott in that number 99 machine. Gets him at the line. That battle continues raging on. Back behind them as well, Nate Maurer under pressure from Jason Gracias and Justin White in the number 2. Biggest gainer on the opening lap, Brock Whited went from 17th to 15th, a gain of 2 positions. Adam Pettit held stationary in 10th, your points leader. See him here side by side trying to get around Bryce Hunter for 9th. Got Angel Wax on the hood of that car this week. And Pettit coming into tonight with a 29-point lead, so he's got quite a bit of room to work with, but he's not home free. A top 10 finish is really what he is going to want here tonight. And ideally, he could get some laps led, grab some bonus points, but with all the other playoff contenders running up at the front of the pack, Pettit not home free. He needs to move forward and get up with them if he wants a little bit of a headache, less of a headache in maintaining his championship run. Meanwhile, up front, Adam Newton getting some pressure now from Ira Kohlhaas, and these two have really broken away from the field. You see how back behind them, you have to go a second and a quarter back before you find Philip Scott in third, and it has only been 4 laps. So the pace run by these front two early on, really fast. Looking back behind them as well, Philip got around Trey Whited for third. Whited slipped into fourth. It's kind of calmed down behind them. Nate Maurer. Oh, but Trey Whited up into the outside wall in turn number 1. Don't know what happened to the 33 there, but he made hard contact with the outside wall. And just like that, 3 wide. Adam Pettit up the inside. Tom Lester in the middle. Exiting turn number 4. Tom Lester going to get the position. Adam Pettit picks up 1 as well, but that 33 of Trey Whited, he dropped quite a few positions on that lap. And again, close to the outside wall. I don't know if he tried to go up into the outside lane and the grip wasn't there. Almost contact in front of him between his brother Brock Whited and the 49 of Bryce Hunter. Meanwhile, up front, battle for the lead continuing to rage on, though it stayed a little bit closer. Ira Kohlhaas closing up to that back bumper of Adam Newton in the number 19 machine. Taking a look more at Adam Newton's stats this season, has 3 top 5 finishes in 8 starts, 7 top 10, so it's been a very consistent run since he joined the series at the Milwaukee Mile, which was the final race of the regular season. Has 18 laps led, so not a stranger to being up front, but hasn't been in this position as early on. Started on the pole. You see Ira Kohlhaas trying to work into the outside lane. Traditionally at Las Vegas, that outside lane is the place to be when you're side by side. We'll see how that fares tonight and how the cars are set up, but when I've raced here in the past, usually the outside lane gonna get the advantage when you're side by side with someone, so we'll just have to wait and see how that goes tonight. Back behind them as well, the chaos continues. Adam Pettit in the nick of a battle for the 6th place position here. Justin White has it, but you see 5 cars right behind him, all jostling for that spot. Tom Lester side by side with Steven Lachensky. Nate Maurer as well, you see slipping back into the clutches of Justin White. Maurer really another driver, he really gonna need to get up, lead a lap, get those bonus points as soon as possible and really take advantage of Adam Pettit being stuck back in traffic. But as you can see, Pettit right there with him here in this battle as he works around Tom Lester in the 48 up the inside lane, side by side at the line. Now Ira Kohlhaas up front, really putting the pressure on Adam Newton. Slips to the inside through turns 1 and 2. Newton fighting back with that momentum on the outside lane as they head into turns 3 and 4. The run, though, from the shorter way around the racetrack. Kohlhaas slides up the track. Newton tries to cross him over out of turn 4, still side by side, but the roles reversed. Newton leads the lap, but Kohlhaas trying to fight back in the outside lane. With 12 laps in the books, you see Ira Kohlhaas goes all the way up toward that wall, trying to build the momentum down the back straightaway, and you're going to see that here. Kohlhaas just going to run away with it. Into 3 and 4, new race leader Ira Kohlhaas takes the lead out of 4th, though Newton not ready to give it up. He is fighting back on the inside lane. See, Kohlhaas fights for that outside lane. Use the momentum from that high line to get to the race lead, and that's what I talk about. The momentum you can carry at the high line here at Las Vegas, really beneficial. You'll burn your tires up a little bit up there, but really you can get a little bit of short-term speed, and that is what Ira Kohlhaas used to take advantage and get out to the front of this race. And now, we've mentioned it every week, Ira Kohlhaas a very good short run car. They set that car up every single week for Ira to be really fast, but we've seen them struggle with long runs just a little bit. That's gotten a lot better as we keep approaching the end of the season. Ira Kohlhaas, we will see if they found the long run speed to maintain this lead. You see Philip Scott right behind these two. The gap there is closed just slightly now. Philip Scott known for good long run speed in that 99. So is Jason Gracias here, who runs in 4th. Brock Whited in the 5th position, where there's still a battle going on. Nate Maurer trying to fight back up the inside lane. Brock Whited into the outside wall as they exit turn number 2. Nate Maurer able to take advantage and slide into 4th. Justin White will follow, in 6th place. Nate Maurer to 5th. And now it's side by side between Whited and Lester for the 7th position as they exit 4. They got really tight there. Just behind them as well, Adam Newton side by side with Steven Lechensky, trying to take back the 10th place position is Adam Pettit. You see Lechensky take advantage of that run from the outside lane. Pettit does a little side drafting into turn number 3, though. Gets back side by side. Has the shorter way around the racetrack and gonna slide up out of 4 to complete that pass. Brock Whited gonna get passed now by the 49 of Bryce Hunter, and check back in on his brother Trey, who's again into the outside wall. I think there's issues now with the 33 of Trey Whited. He is really struggling, it seems like, with the handle on that number 33. And we talked about the special paint scheme the 33 is running here tonight. That is because at the end of this season, as you see, it says thank you Sizemore. At the end of this season, Trey Whited will be leaving Sizemore Motorsports, where he has raced this season. In partnership with Toyota Racing, he will be starting Whited Racing. They have a technical alliance with Sizemore Motorsports, and they will compete here in the 2023 season. That is why you see the special paint scheme for Trey Whited, thanking Sizemore Motorsports, because he will be creating his own team at the end of this season as he gets passed by Jason Shue. And up front, it's now Adam Newton up into the race lead. Ira Kohlhaas, I think as soon as I started talking about it, Ira started to fall off the pace. You see there, lost quite a few spots now. Passed by Philip Scott, just got passed by Jason Gracias as well. That long run speed on the 29, you see him not able to hold the bottom like the cars in front of him were able to do, and that's really going to hurt him here. On the long run, you want to be able to hold that low line on corner exit. Battle for second place between Philip Scott and Jason Gracias. If Gracias were to win tonight, he would tie Adam Pettit for the most wins of this season with 6 apiece. Currently, it's tied with Nate Maurer for the second most wins of the season. Ryder out in the chat saying, go Philip. Ryder always out there cheering on Philip Scott, who runs in second place right now and is the leader of those championship contenders we were talking about at the start of the show. And as they run right now as well, he is ahead of Nate Maurer in points. It's very close to Adam Pettit, but he is definitely right now doing exactly what he needs to do and closing in on your race leader Adam Newton as well as the field comes to complete lap 21. See Philip using that high line just like we've been talking about, carrying the speed on the straightaways, not letting Gracias get that run. He is running a lot higher than anyone else here in this group. You see him consistently running in that middle lane, whereas Newton and Gracias run down low on the track. The battle for 5th has settled down just a little bit, but as you see, still A lot of cars running in this train. Nate Maurer has it right now, though. Justin White having a fast car here today, looking to take it away. Had a bit of a run, but forced to check up on exit. Didn't really have anywhere to take it. These two drivers right here, actually, Nate Maurer and Justin White, they are once again providing us with onboard cameras here tonight. Let's take a ride on board with Justin White. First off, as he battles with Nate Maurer for the 5th place position. That was an onboard look with Justin White in the number 2 machine. So you see him now starting to deal with Adam Pettit, trying to get to his inside. Pettit now up into the 7th position, just got around Tom Lester. As you see there scrolling on the bottom of your screen, WRN is looking for new commentators and producers to join our team as we look to expand headed into 2023. You would be interested, no experience is required. You can email us at wrn.broadcasting@gmail.com. We will get into contact with you. Would love to work with you. It's a very fun experience, very rewarding experience up here in the broadcast booth. Always looking for new people who want to get into it. Ira Kohlhaas sliding back even more now. You see Adam Pettit to his inside, now Tom Lester. Ira once again being plagued with those short run speed, but struggles on the long run. Kept pace with your race leader Adam Newton, who is now being challenged by Jason Gracias. Gracias to the outside of Newton. Mixing up my Adams here. Newton's still going to lead the lap, but Gracias in that preferred groove in the outside lane should get the momentum out of 2, and you see how Adam Newton just couldn't keep that car down on the white line, and that opens the door for Philip Scott as well into turn number 3. Philip jumping up the inside lane, and he will slide up and take that position away from Adam Newton as they go down the front straightaway. Newton again goes for the crossover, but gonna be stuck down in that inside lane, and more than likely Philip Scott gonna be able to use that momentum in the outside groove to hold that position strong up, and you see the speed he's gonna get on corner exit. But your new race leader here is Jason Gracias, like we talked about, coming off a race win last week at Phoenix in the Sparkle and Shine 100. He has 5 wins on the season, but has been on a part-time schedule, but when he's been out here, always seems like Jason Gracias up at the front of the pack. Been a big disturber of the playoffs here. Grabbed several wins during the playoffs. And again, looking strong here at Las Vegas. Again, Philip Scott running in second. Leading those 4 championship contenders here tonight. Nate Maurer, second among those drivers, running in 4th right now. Adam Pettit runs in 6th, and then the 33 of Trey Whited, like we said, off to a rough start. Contact with the outside wall. Whited runs 16th at the moment. Gonna be looking to catch a break, probably a caution to get caught back up and fix some of that damage on the right side. But you see he's still committed to running that outside lane. I just think he's gotten a little bit too overzealous there in the outside lane. Broke through that cushion, like they say, up to the wall, and got into it early on, and unfortunately that seems to be impacting the speed in that number 33 machine. Philip Scott once again getting challenged by Adam Newton, this time holding strong through 1 and 2. Once again, Philip Scott takes the momentum down the back straightaway and holds on to that second position. If you're Jason Gracias up there leading the race, you really like what you see right now. You want these two to be side by side, battling with each other so that they heat their tires up, and that allows you to run away with a little bit of a gap. And we see Gracias extending that lead just a little bit. We'll pull up our WR and head-to-head. You can see he pulled a 10th on Philip Scott the last lap. We'll put a pin in that, actually, because we have some takers down on pit road. Green flag stops getting underway for the first time here tonight. The 77 of Doug Neal down pit road. Trey Whited, Sam Kohlhaas all making their pit stops. You see some right side damage on Sam Kohlhaas as well. Philip Scott and Adam Newton both peel down into the pits, as does Zach Howell in the number 3 machine. One of those number 3 machines out on the track here today, along with Jason Chu. Jason Gracias, and we talk about the championship race. He is the defending series champion. Again, not in the playoffs. The 2021 champion was Jason Gracias here, as he comes down pit road, along with a lot of the field. Adam Pettit down pit road. The 2 of Justin White making his pit stop. Tom Lester, Bryce Hunter, Ira Kohlhaas, Robert Richards, Brock Whited all down pit road on this lap. That makes your race leader, the number 971 of Nate Maurer. He will pick up 5 bonus points for leading a lap here, which is exactly what he needs to be doing here if he wants to cut into Adam Pettit's lead. That's the goal of Philip Scott and Trey Whited as well. They want to pick up as many bonus points as they possibly can here tonight. The bonus points available: 5 for leading a lap in the race, 5 for the most laps led, and 5 for a race with no incident points. Patrick Morrison down pit road in the Coast Guard number 94 machine. Like the paint scheme there being sported by Patrick Morrison. That leaves just 3 cars having yet to make their pit stop, and I do have to say I am a little bit surprised Nate Maurer staying out as long as he is. Of course, I shouldn't be, because we've seen this strategy from Nate Maurer time and time again this season. It's gotten him some wins, but at this point in the race, you're racing 4 drivers for the championship. All of them have been down pit road. Yes, if you caught a caution right now, it would be great. You would be one of only 3 cars on the lead lap. The 2 others are Steven Lachensky and Jason Chu, who have not pitted yet. But if you don't catch a caution here, and we've seen green flag races quite a bit, this race has gone green so far. The mile and a halfs have been very clean in this postseason. As Jason Chu pits, you are going to lose a lot of track position when you do have to come into pit road, and we haven't been able to see people stretch it to that 50 lap mark. As I think the 971 slowing down to hit pit road this time. Yes, he is. Nate Maurer down into the pits, and that will turn the lead over to the number 9 car of Steven Lachensky. Lachensky in the Monster Jam machine, the only car now who has yet to come down and make a green flag stop. Started in 12th this race. Steven Lachensky did. Another driver we've seen a lot of good performance from, a lot of consistency from Steven Lachensky. Has 1 top 5 this season, 7 top 10s. Best finish this season came at Charlotte just 2 races ago for him. Wasn't in the field at Kentucky Motor Speedway with a top 5 finish. It has been a lot of top 10s here as we get later into the season. So Steven Lachensky starting to find some rhythm here. Put together some good runs. He would love to see that caution flag fly as well right now, because he would be the only car on the lead lap. Actually, I take that back. There are a couple of cars who have actually gotten back around him, although it still scores them like they're 1 lap down. I don't know exactly why, as he blinks out just a little bit there. Jason Gracias maintained what will be the race lead once Lachensky pits. Philip Scott in 2nd. Adam Newton is 3rd. You see the 28 of Sam Kohlhaas mixed in here 4th, Adam Pettit in that anything you see Angel Wax number 83 machine. He jumped Nate Maurer through the pit cycle. Nate Maurer actually quite a ways behind these race leaders. Now about 10 seconds behind Jason Gracias as Steven Lechensky comes down for his pit stop. That means everyone has come down for the first green flag stop of the night. We will expect one more green flag stop to come around lap 66 to 70. This has been the same strategy we've seen all season long in the mile-and-a-half races. Been splitting into thirds. Will Radcliffe out in the chat saying good evening, race fans. Good evening, Will. Glad you're joining us here for championship racing here at Las Vegas, the Beer Street Journal season finale. So far, it's Jason Gracias. Once he got up into the race lead, no one's been able to take it away from him. Adam Newton, your pole sitter, running in 3rd place right now. Make that 4th as he just got passed by the number 83 of Adam Pettit. We talked about Pettit needing to get up toward the front of the field to defend that track position and those points. Right now, he is doing just that as they run right now. Adam Pettit will walk out of here tonight as your champion, but there are still quite a few laps to go, not even at the halfway point here tonight. Philip Scott up in front of him doing a great job trying to cut down on that gap, but really the position he is in is needing Pettit to lose quite a few positions here if he wants a shot now at the championship. He was faring much better when Pettit was running back in 9th and 10th position, but now that he's up here in the front, there's not much Philip Scott or any of your other championship contenders for that matter can do. So really at this point, the race is in Adam Pettit's hands. We've seen him be fast on the mile-and-a-halfs all season long. He's told us multiple times in interviews they're his best discipline of track. Right now doing exactly what he needs to do to lock up that 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series Championship. I'm trying to do battle with Philip Scott for 2nd place. Would love to get out in front of Philip Scott. Sean Kosher in the chat saying, let's go Pettit. Will Radcliffe says, let's go Philip. It's kind of the fight in the chat between these two drivers, Philip Scott and Adam Pettit. Again, for those of you who've tuned in since our pre-race show, Adam Pettit comes into tonight with a 29-point lead in the championship standings. Nate Maurer is 2nd. Philip Scott is 34 points behind Adam Pettit, and Trey Whitehead is 84 points behind Pettit. It is only those 4 drivers who could mathematically win the championship here tonight. There's Jason Gracias out front. It's that situation of, do you win the race when you win the championship? We see that go all kinds of different ways. In the eNASCAR Coke Series race, they just had their championship race this past week. The champion did not win the race, and we'll see whether in the National Sim Racing Association we see the same ring true, or if one of these two drivers and the driver that becomes your champion will win the final race. When I won my NSRA championships years ago, I did not win either of those final races, and that was always a nail in my side, especially I was so close to winning one of them. I really wanted to walk out of that final race having won the race and the championship to make a statement like that, and that's exactly what these drivers are going to want here tonight. You see Adam Pettit now working up the inside of Philip Scott. He definitely would love to win here in Las Vegas to say, not only did I win the championship, I won the very last race of the season. It's quite a way to make a statement. Every driver wants to do it. Of course, if you're Philip Scott, you're saying the same thing. I would love to find a way to cut down on that points lead and walk out of here champion. I want to win the race while I'm doing it too. So don't think these drivers are just going to settle down and let Jason Gracias walk out with a race lead. They are still out here fighting for that race win, because it still means quite a bit, if not more, than winning a race on a normal week. The field on lap 50 right now, coming to take lap 51. That puts us at the halfway point. I think it's about time we go to one of our WRN listen-ins here at Las Vegas. $54 laps in the books for Jason Gracias out at the front of this field. His lead is at a 2.5 seconds over Philip Scott, who runs in second place right now. Actually just got passed by Adam Pettit in the Anything EC 83 car. Adam Newton right there on Philip's bumper as well. Writer out in the chat saying, Philip has been to Vegas for American Ninja Warrior, so it'd be fitting if he won the championship in Vegas. It definitely would be, and Las Vegas has been a venue for many an NSRA championship race. Like I alluded to earlier, I took home one of mine here in the very first season of the NSRA Friday Night Truck Series. That race was held at Las Vegas. Last season, if memory serves me right, it was Charlotte Motor Speedway that crowned the champion of the series. I could be wrong about that. And the Truck Series as well, we talk about the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. Their championship race as well will be right here in Las Vegas Friday night, just tomorrow, over on 3 Wide TV. We'll actually go grab a look at the point standings for that series as well, because I know Philip is also in the mix over there. Things will work out for me. Technology doesn't always want to cooperate. Over on the Friday Night Truck Series, it's Nate Maurer leading by 62 points over Philip Scott. Again, that will be tomorrow night here over on 3 Wide TV, not here on WRN. Justin White and Tristan Maher, who doesn't race here. Those four drivers, your top four over in the Friday Night Trucks. But we are here Thursday night with the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, and it is still Jason Gracias out at the front of the field, extending the lead just slightly over Adam Pettit, who now leads those four drivers who could win the championship here tonight. So again, Pettit started off not how he wanted to be, was running just outside the top 10, barely in the top 10, but really worked his way up through the field now, and he is in prime position to win the championship here in Las Vegas. If you are Philip Scott, Nate Maurer, or Trey Whited, you are really hoping something happens to the 83 machine. Really, that's what you need at this point. He needs to hit the wall or do something, because you need to gain quite a bit of points on him here tonight And if you were Adam Pettit, you want the opposite to happen. You are just doing the best you can to keep that car clean, keep out of trouble here, and in 40 laps, just over 40 laps, you could be an NSRA champion and add your name to those ranks. Speaking of Nate Maurer, he has worked his way now up into the 4th position. Just got around the number 19 of Adam Newton, and we'll take you through your field actually while we're looking around there. Again, Jason Gracias leads the race, Adam Pettit in 2nd, Philip Scott 3rd, Nate Maurer 4th, Adam Newton 5th. Then looking back further in the field, Justin White runs in 6th place. You see Sam Kohlhaas and Brock Whited, those drivers are 1 lap down. Actually, a little bit different. Sam Kohlhaas 2 laps down, Brock Whited 3 laps down. Justin White trying to sort his way through them on the lead lap. Then Zach Howell, in his first start of the season, runs in the 7th place position. In 8th is the 48 of Tom Lester, 9th Ira Kohlhaas, and 10th Robert Richards, who again picked up the win at Kentucky Motor Speedway the last time we visited a mile and a half. That was just 3 races ago, if you count this one. Then looking back behind them, in 11th place, Steven Lachensky. 12th is Bryce Hunter. 13th, Doug Neal in the Simbox Motorsports number 77 car. 14th is Trey Whited. Again, Trey really hoping for a caution here to get himself up into contention. Needs to pick up some points and probably win the race if he wants to have a shot at being champion. Then Jason Shue runs 15th. The 94 of Patrick Morrison in 16th place. Those all on the lead lap. Then Sam Kohlhaas, we talked about, 2 laps down in 17th. Brock Whited 3 laps down in 18th. And that takes you through your field. They are all chasing this man, Jason Gracias, in the Bagcraft Max Graphics machine. Adam Pettit losing time now to Gracias, back to 2 seconds behind your race leader. Philip Scott in 3rd, still getting pressured by the 971 of Nate Maurer. They've got Brock Whited there to their outside on some fresher tires, I believe. Yes, very fresh tires, about 20 lap pressure tires. None of these drivers he's racing around, working his way through them here. The fastest car on the track last time by was Jason Gracias, your race leader. It probably doesn't come to much surprise, but fastest lap of the race held by the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas, who runs back in the 9th place position. And Ira started 2nd, led some laps early on, but long run pace just was not there in the opening run and dropped a bit through the field as green flag pit stops once again getting underway. Adam Newton in pit road, as well as Patrick Morrison in the 94 car. They're the first 2 to venture down pit road. See if we get any more takers on this next lap. Stellar Stella in the chat saying, hey, finally saw Morrison. Yep, Patrick just peeling out of pit road, running 16th right now on the racetrack. No takers the last lap. Jason Gracias continues to stay out in the race lead as well. Adam Pettit starting to cut time out of the race lead now, just as we talked about him losing time. Pettit has brought the gap back down to just over 1.5 seconds, and we'll pull up our WRN head-to-head. You can see him gaining time on both Jason Gracias and Philip Scott, who runs in 3rd place right now. And Pettit is now the fastest car on the racetrack, but Jason Gracias is down into pit road. Your race leader, the first of your top 5 to peel into the pits. Oh, excuse me, Adam Newton was in the top 5 when he pitted. That'd be my mistake there. Trey Whited as well is down pit road. So Adam Pettit is going to pick up those 5 bonus points for leading a lap here. That's something he really wanted to have in his column. trying to hold his points lead here through the night. Philip Scott just under a second behind Adam Pettit. Nate Maurer about 0.3 of a second behind Philip Scott. More takers on pit road. Zach Howell, Ira Kohlhaas down pit road this last lap. Waiting to see which of these three championship contenders is going to be the first to break. Trey Whited has come down pit road, but as we've documented, he's running well outside the top 10 after some issues earlier on in the race. Justin White pits from 4th place. Robert Richards from 5th pits. The track position so key here at Las Vegas as well, especially once the tires get old like they do now. It's very difficult to work your way up to someone and make that pass because the dirty air here at Las Vegas, I've always felt like it was more difficult to drive right behind someone here at Vegas than at some other tracks. It's just so difficult to work your way up to someone and then get the run to make that pass. I think that's what we see right now. Nate Maurer is running just about the same pace behind Philip Scott. Was able to catch up to Philip, but once he got there, just hasn't been able to close that gap up really anymore. Bryce Hunter pits 49. Speaking of Bryce Hunter, in the Dr. Pepper 49 car, I don't know if you all follow Dr. Pepper on social media like I do, but they recently released a non-alcoholic bourbon flavor of Dr. Pepper. It's only available on their website called Pepper Perks. It's their rewards program. I would assume Bryce Hunter is a pepper like myself. I don't know if he is trying to get hold of that like I am, but that is something that is out there. Of course, like we said, non-alcoholic. If that's not so much your thing, though, and you like a little bit of the alcohol, our sponsor, Beer Street Journal, has you covered with just about all the information you could want to have. Go check them out. The link is down in this video description. Again, our title sponsor, Beer Street Journal. Philip Scott, the first to come down pit road, was wondering which of these drivers would jump first. Philip down pit road. Adam Pettit follows. 971 as well follows Pettit down pit road. We'll see if Philip can make up some time, having pitted one lap earlier than those two. He was in front of Nate Maurer, about just under a second behind Adam Pettit when he pitted. We'll see if one lap is enough time to make up that gap. It should put him closer as long as he got on and off pit road fast. One thing about Adam Pettit has been his pit road times have been very, very good in terms of getting on and off pit road. There have been very few drivers who seem to be able to beat Pettit in most cases this season. Your race leader now, the number 9 of Stephen Lechensky, has yet to pit on this cycle. Jason Shu also has yet to make a pit stop. Doug Neal just pitted. He had been another driver who was staying out on the track. So 2 drivers here have yet to come in and make a green flag stop under this cycle. Brock Whited also has taken that car to the garage. He was running off cycle here tonight, but the 31, the only car so far to DNF from this race. I think he just packed that one up because he was running multiple laps down. Not for sure about that. But we're going to keep our eyes up here where things are going on. Now looking back behind them as well, Adam Pettit did maintain his lead on the pit cycle. He runs about half a second in front of Philip Scott. You can see Philip really driving that car on quarter exit. Took it way off the white line on exit. Nate Maurer runs third of these 3 drivers. He is about a half a second behind Philip. Trey Whited runs in 12th at the moment, 1 lap down in this race. See if he might get that lap back. I think once your race leader pits, which not happening yet. Steven Lechensky still on the track, getting passed by cars on fresher tires here. You see Ira Kohlhaas unlapping himself. Ira in a strong run here, but oh! Car spinning into the infield wall. Wrong car. Wrong 3 car. Zach Howell hard into the infield wall. Will we see a caution? Not yet. This race is staying green. We'll take a look back on the WRN replay to see what happened to Zach Howell. I think I saw definitely contact with someone out on the racetrack. Looks like the 94 of Patrick Morrison. Howell got up into the wall. Morrison just there at the wrong place, wrong time, and Zach Howell hard into the infield wall. I think Patrick Morrison able to get out of that one relatively unscathed. Unfortunately, though, for Zach Howell, that is not the case. He is taking that car back down pit road. Probably significant damage. That was not a light impact into that infield wall. This will be the 39th lap we're seeing him on right now that Steven Lechensky has been on track. Jason Chu is down pit road. Lechensky, the only driver on this green flag cycle that has yet to pit. 20 laps to go this time by. He almost caught that lucky caution we talk about drivers wanting to get. If Zach Howell's incident had brought out a caution, Steven Lechensky would more than likely restart the race as your race leader, but unfortunately for him, Howell stayed off the racing surface, didn't come back onto it, and so iRacing not throwing the caution for that incident. And you saw as well Zach Howell, well, I thought I saw him get back out onto the racetrack. I guess saw someone else. I think it was the other 3 car, Jason Shu. They're confusing me a little bit. That's what happened on that caution. I clicked to the 3 of Jason Shu. Howell scored us the 37 here tonight. Officially, we're calling him the other number 3. Jason Gracias is 9 seconds behind Steven Lechensky. Of course, Lechensky going to have to pit any lap now. I think the longest we've seen anyone stretch it was 42 laps here tonight. Lechensky would be 42 laps this time, and he is going down pit road now. So, Jason Gracias gets back into the race lead. Adam Newton runs in 2nd place, solidly in 2nd place as well. And then behind them, it is still Adam Pettit running in 3rd, but he is now being challenged by the other 2 drivers, 2 of those other 3 drivers contending for the championship here tonight. Philip Scott and Nate Maurer running tandem with each other have caught up to Adam Pettit. Philip Scott looking high into turns number 3 and 4 on the exit. Trying to get that run down the front straightaway, and Newton is falling into the clutches of these drivers as well. That will likely throw a wrench in somebody's race here if and when Pettit has to try and make that pass on Adam Newton. Steven Lechensky re-enters the track. He will be 1 lap down now after staying out on that pit cycle. Pettit looking up the inside of Adam Newton into turn number 3, going to clear that pass. Philip Scott not going to be able to clear Newton though, and they will run side by side down the front straightaway, and that is going to cost them a lot of time to Adam Pettit. You see him starting to pull away here into turns number 1 and 2. Philip Scott still struggling to get around that number 19 of Adam Newton. And keep in mind, Newton, not a lap car here. He is racing for position. He doesn't care that these drivers up here racing for the championship. He wants as good a run as he can get here tonight. Through 3 and 4, though, Philip Scott and Nate Maurer both get around him. Nate Maurer trying to get to the inside of Philip Scott out of turn number 4, unable to do it though, and he will settle back into the 4th place position on the track. Actually, not wanting to settle in, back up the inside of Philip Scott, down the back straightaway. These two race side by side, and again, these two battling side by side just allows Adam Pettit to pull out further to a race lead. And also keep in mind, it's not like in NASCAR we see in real life, or like we mentioned earlier, the iRacing Coke Series, where the highest finishing driver wins the championship. There are still 10 drivers in the playoffs here. It's just that the 4 we've been talking about, Pettit, Scott, Maurer, and Whitehead, excuse me, those 4 are the only ones who could mathematically get enough points to win the championship. Pettit, even if they were to get around Adam Pettit, pass him, so Philip Scott finishes 2nd, Nate Maurer 3rd, Adam Pettit 4th, let's just say, Pettit is still going to win the championship because they have to catch him by 29 points if you're Nate Maurer and 34 points if you're Philip Scott. So he could lose some track position and still be in a position to where he'll win the championship. So really, these two battling side by side, even if they got around him, it might not win them the championship, but still you would like to finish in front of Adam Pettit if you can. We see Philip Scott doing a great job holding off the 971, the Redneck Nation car of Nate Maurer. Steven Lechensky running behind them is 1 lap down. The first car 1 lap down. Have not seen a caution yet tonight, but if we did in the next 10 laps, it would be Steven Lechensky winning the Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. That's sponsored by our friends at Brookstone Animal Hospital. They haven't been getting as much attention as maybe they would like on these mile-and-a-half races. We've seen very clean racing from these drivers. The only incident really noteworthy on the night was that Zach Howell spin, but no caution thrown for that because it went off the racing surface, and Philip Scott continues to hold off the 971, and Steven Lechensky, kind of a thorn in Nate Maurer's side there, didn't let him get all the way back up to the wall. You'd like to carry the momentum as far as you can up to the wall on the exit of the corners. Unable to do it there though. Lechensky on fresher tires here, had a bit of a moment there in the middle of 1 and 2, was able to catch the slide though. Luckily no contact with either of these two drivers either, battling for 3rd. Up at the front, it is still Jason Gracias. He has a lead of 2 seconds over Adam Pettit, who is now also 2 seconds in front of Philip Scott, running in 3rd. So at this point, these drivers, they need a caution if they want to battle for the race lead. Not only that, but they need some chaos in order to walk away with the championship, because again, as things sit, Adam Pettit in just 7 laps will be the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series champion. And if it stays green, I don't see how Pettit would lose this one. And same for Jason Gracias. He is just cruising away to a race win right now. He's hoping it stays green for just a couple more laps, and he will tie Pettit for the most wins of the season. We're going to keep our eyes, though, on this battle for 3rd, where Nate Maurer has actually gotten around Philip Scott. Move Nate Maurer up into the 3rd position now. Lechensky going to try and work around Scott. Again, Lechensky 1 lap down, not for position. Adam Newton in the number 19, your pole sitter here tonight. He rounds out the top 5, still about 3 seconds off the battle for 3rd place. This has been a good night for Adam Newton. Like we said, his first pole of the season. Led a lot of laps early on and really been in the top 5 all night long. So Adam Newton making a good statement run here to finish off the 2022 season. Will Radcliffe in the chat saying, "Let's go, Philip." My concern with Philip Scott here is that he ran his tires a little bit too hard trying to stay in front of Nate Maurer. I think we're seeing that 971 pull that gap. I have a feeling just ran a little bit too hard trying to keep the pace with the 971, and unfortunately those tires a little bit too hot. Nate Maurer scooting away now with the third place position. 4 laps to go for Jason Gracias up front in the race lead. 4 laps to go for Adam Pettit, looking to secure the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series Championship. Adam Pettit, 6 wins on the season. We talk about it. 16 top 10 finishes, 14 of those were in the top 5. He would add 1 to both those columns were he to hold his second place position here tonight. 3 laps to go in the race. 4 poles. His win percentage coming into tonight was 28%. Has led 430 laps coming into tonight's race. That is very impressive stats we've seen from Adam Pettit. And coming out of the regular season, had a bad string of races, 2 laps to go. Had a rough string of races, had a couple DNFs there to finish off the regular season. Lost his points lead. Nate Maurer took the regular season championship, but then when the playoffs started, some switch flipped back on for the 83 of Adam Pettit. Consistent top 5 finishes throughout the playoffs. His only exception where he did not finish in the top 5 was last week at Phoenix, where he had a DNF, finished 15th. But with the white flag flying, 1 lap to go, Adam Pettit is 2 turns away from securing the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series Championship down the back straightaway for the final time. Steven Lachinsky gets by without incident. Jason Gracias out in the lead is going to pick up the race win here tonight, his 6th of the season. But Adam Pettit will be your 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series champion. Congratulations to driver of that Angel Wax Anything EC 83 car. A well-deserved championship. A great race here tonight. You see Nate Maurer coming up to congratulate driver of the number 83. Nate Maurer, as well, a valiant effort through the playoffs. Early on, looked to be the championship favorite, but had a couple rough races there, and Adam Pettit really, like we talked about, just turned it on and had a great string of races, a great playoff run. Philip Scott finishes in 4th place here tonight. Trey Whitehead comes home in 10th, that other driver who could have won the championship here tonight. John Kocher says Angel Wax Anything EC is looking good. Your driver, Sean, parked that car in victory lane for the championship. Again, congratulations to Jason Gracias picking up tonight's race win. We don't want to overshadow Jason Gracias either. He picks up his 6th win of the season, ties Pettit for the most wins of the season. Again, it is this driver, though. He goes to do his burnouts. Adam Pettit wins your series championship here tonight at Las Vegas. We're going to step away for just a moment, get ready for our post-race interviews, and let Adam Pettit burn it down. We will be back from Las Vegas Motor Speedway with your post-race interviews, with your top 3, a look at your final race standings, and some more here on the World Racing Network. And we are back here. Gonna do some post-race interviews with, and we're gonna do this a little bit differently here tonight too. We're gonna talk to all three of those drivers who were in contention for the championship here tonight. So we are gonna talk with Trey Whited, Philip Scott, Nate Maurer. Then we're gonna go to Jason Gracias, your race winner. Then we will talk with your champion, Adam Pettit, first off. But we're going to kick off the night talking with the driver. Comes home 10th place here tonight. But Trey Whited, I know tonight probably didn't go exactly like you wanted it to, but still, you're walking out of here with a top 10 finish, and you can say you were in championship contention down to the last race, and you were one of only 4 drivers this season who managed to do that. So still very impressive feat for you here tonight and this season.
Yeah, super solid season. It's been it started out pretty rough, rough couple first weeks, and then we kind of started hitting our stride and getting top 10s, top 5s, and then we ended up getting that win at Talladega, and everything was rolling. And I think we kind of fell down a little bit, not too bad, but I think Watkins Glen I could have finished a little better, and just a lot of places I think I could have improved my points position and stuff. And we were a long shot tonight, so I mean it could have happened, but unfortunately. I kind of took myself out of that with early contact with the wall and just having to battle back all night. Fell back to 18th and had to battle back all night, like I said, and fortunately was able to get another top 10 to finish off the season. And it was a special night tonight with Sizemore Motorsports on the car. They've been helping me for the last year and a half with everything iRacing related, and can't thank them enough for the help that they've given me throughout that time, and I hope that we can continue to grow when I start my new team next season. So be sure to watch out for that. But yeah, like you said, was able to battle for the championship all the way down to the last race. We were taking points away every week, I felt like, and getting closer. We just needed a little more points here and there to get a little closer and actually have a true shot. But yep, good season.
And I talked about during the broadcast, you stepping away, starting your own team for next season. I'll give you a chance if you want to just talk a little bit more about that, what that's going to look like for you and anyone else joining your team here in the 2023 season.
Yeah, so we hope to run 4 cars next year. I think we'll have 3. We're going to be switching over to Toyota. I just love the way the Supras look. I've always wanted to run them, so I figured if I started my own team, I'd race the cars that I like the most. And yeah, it'll be called Whitehead Racing. We've already got a logo and everything. We'll get a Facebook page going, and of course, I'll be bringing my brother Brock along with me as well. So tonight was his last race with Sizemore as well. But I don't think it was as special to him as it was to me because I've raced with those boys on Xbox and everything like that. So to have it not really come to an end, but move on to a new chapter was very special. And we can both grow together and help each team grow, and we'll use the resources of each other and keep growing. But yeah, we're gonna try to run 4 cars next year. The other 2 drivers are TBD, so stay tuned for that.
Well, certainly we'll keep an eye on you guys. I know in my career, I think I ran for 3 different teams at different points. So I know that definitely when you spend some time somewhere, it's an emotional adjustment, but I'll tell you what, looking forward to seeing what you and your new team can do next season. Now, taking a look again at your season here, your rookie campaign in the NSRA Grand National Series, you ran 24 races, 20 of those were top 10 finishes, 10 actually in the top 5, but 20 top 10 finishes in one season, Trey. That is some consistency. I've talked about it during the broadcast. You put together a heck of a season. 0 DNFs. You might, as far as I'm aware, be one of the only drivers to have done that this season. So certainly you've got a lot to look forward to and to build off of headed into 2023.
Yeah, for sure. I think we missed 2 races. I think it was a 26 race season. We missed 2 in a row. I think we missed Kansas and Gateway way early in the season. But yeah, 20 top 10s. I'm actually really glad you said that because that would only be 19 if I hadn't battled back tonight. So I'd be very upset that I didn't hit that 20 mark. But yeah, I mean, consistency is how I tried to approach it. And if I wasn't winning races, I'd certainly wanted to be running up front in the top 5, top 10. So glad to see that reflected in the stat sheet. And we'll see if we can continue that on next season into the new team. And just glad to give Sizemore everything I had this season. And I mean, we made a deep run. This is the most competitive league I've raced in, and to finish fourth in the final standings with a win as well, it's just super special. And I can't thank them enough. I can't thank Justin White enough, and everybody, Beer Street Journal, National Sim Racing Association, and you as well. I say it every week, but I like going back, watching the races, using it as film. Excuse me, and just watching it, seeing what I can improve and stuff. So if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd have 20 top tens. But that's just a number. We'll come back out stronger next season and hope to improve on that and keep it going. So
Yeah, definitely looking forward to next season, seeing what you can bring. Probably, hopefully, making another championship run. Will hopefully things will shake out for you that way. But I'll give you a chance before I let you go to give any other shout outs you'd like to give, or if you just want to highlight people again. Now the floor is yours to do any of that you want.
yeah, obviously first and foremost, Ryan Sizemore with Sizemore Motorsports, and Noah Owens also with Sizemore. When they brought me on, it had been the first time I'd raced with them in about a year and a half before that, when we raced on Xbox before I actually made the transition over to PC. So to join back with them and run races with them under Ryan's team, and it was just super special, obviously. And then my main sponsor this year is Superior Concrete Products. They've been on the car all season pretty much, besides a few races here and there. And glad to represent my job and get our business out there and actually be able to sponsor a race as well. That was pretty cool. And then Klarna, Moneyline, Advanced Auto Parts. They were all small partnerships just for a couple races, but they definitely helped me acknowledge that I was actually doing something pretty good, and so we'll keep building that next season, like I said, and thank you as well at World Racing Network, and hopefully we'll be back with you next season, and it's just been fantastic broadcasts week in and week out, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything you do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you again for stopping by and talking with me, Trey. Best of luck to you in the off season. Looking forward to seeing you again next season.
Yep, 10-4 going to be making some moves, so watch out. Thank you.
That was Trey Whited. He finishes 10th here tonight at Las Vegas, but 4th place in your playoff standings. Going to move next to the driver who will finish 3rd in the playoff standings. Finished 4th here tonight at Las Vegas. Talking about Philip Scott in the number 99 machine. Philip, you gave it a great run here tonight. We're up front all night long. Battled with Nate there down to the finish. Didn't quite have enough to take that championship away from Adam Pettit. But still, a great run here for you at Vegas and a great season to get you to this point.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this season. Tonight was a blast. Congrats to Adam for getting championship, Nate for getting runner up. I think the championship finishing order was like definitely reflective of like the totem pole this season. I this was like my first if some of you guys have watched TNR like for a few seasons, like first few seasons, I was doing sim racing competitively, was with TNR, and I was garbage at long run and just pace in general. And so this season was like my first real big full season um where I really got to improve and learn and race with some great guys and even win 3 races, which is crazy.
Yeah, and you pick up again 3 races this season. You dominated Watkins Glen, led every single lap. There's definitely a big statement run for you and a statement season, like you said. Really proud of the run you've put on this season. You did not finish outside the top 10 during the playoffs. Neither of those two that finished in front of you can say that. So certainly your consistency, especially in the postseason, carried you really far here. And you talk about the speed. How much of a learning experience has this season been for you? And you think you're a lot better now than you were at the start of the year?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a lot better at the start than at the start, because I remember at Homestead, which was the second race of the year, I completely burnt my stuff up horribly, and that was like the big wake up call. I'm like, uh-oh, I probably should get a little. Well, I mean, I had been improving a bit, but that was just like a especially bad race. And then, so then, thankfully, I did I did better in the truck race the next day at Homestead, and so and after that, I just kind of I think not too long after that was Rockingham, which is a track I've always been like kind of decent at. So um, all of a sudden, I was really confused. I always like driving things that are like, I love tracks that are hard to drive. So um, uh, I noticed like I had to it was so weird during the middle of the race that I like noticed I was like so far out in front and like um then had to battle with Pettit at the end. That was that was the hardest I've ever fought for a race, and yeah, and that was like the big confidence booster that set off the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you talk about, again, a fantastic season for you. Are you planning on racing again in 2023 here on Thursday nights?
Yeah, probably, definitely. I I'm definitely gonna either Thursday or Friday. But probably both. I'll probably end up doing both. Um, I want that championship, obviously, and it's great racing with these guys, and yeah, I I just wish there were a couple more road courses in the schedule next year, but yeah, I'm excited to do some more racing here.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to see you come back next year, and you're not out of it either in the NSRA. You have to race for a championship tomorrow night as well over on 3 Wide TV, but that'll do it for me here tonight, Philip. I'll let you go, but before we do that, I'll give you a chance to give any shout outs to those sponsors or people who've helped cheer you along this season.
Yeah, of course, worldninjaleague.org, check us out, and then obviously thanks to all my pals that have watched me all throughout the season. Uh, Thanks to Alex, Colin, Amber, Brandon, all of them. Um, Thanks for uh, even though I like to even though you guys aren't as into racing as I am, you always show up to the YouTube streams and cheer me on. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you for stopping by and talking with me, Philip. Again, congratulations on fourth place here tonight, third in the championship standings, and we are wishing you the best of luck in the off season, and hopefully we'll see you more again next year and maybe race for another championship.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Philip Scott, driver of the World Ninja League number 99 machine. Time now to talk to our third place finisher here tonight, Nate Maurer. Nate, second place in the playoff standings. I know you wanted to walk out of here a champion, but still, second place, and you pick up a regular season championship as well this season. So it's been quite the run for you in 2022.
It was a good season, but let's face it, Adam Pettit deserves it, man. So yeah, it's a fun week for me. I knew I had a chance at winning tonight's championship here in the Xfinity Series, but tomorrow night we go into the final race, points leader by 60 points, and hopefully bring home the truck championship. So yeah, good runner up tonight. But let's face it, Adam deserved it. He had a great race for getting on about 5 minutes before the race started. So yeah, fun race, great battle in there at the end with Philip. That was fun. I wanted to get a top three. Hoping for a caution there at the end to see what would happen, but all in all, good race, no cautions, and I like that.
Yeah, and it was a very good race. You all have done a lot of caution-free races, especially here later in the season, maybe just one caution. But tonight, I know you would have liked to see it to get back up there and race for the win, but still, third place, a great run for you here in the 971. And for a while there, led the playoffs. Again, you went on a 3-race winning streak. I think that's the longest winning streak we saw this season. Really, it's top 10s all except for that race at Chicagoland. You've had top 5 finishes for most of the playoffs, so a lot of speed here for you and nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. And Philip, I know we talked about it too. You guys are about to race for your truck championship tomorrow night, but in terms of 2022, I asked Philip, and I'll ask you this too. You think you learned something throughout this season that's made you a better race car driver?
Oh yeah, going back to Chicagoland when me and Gracias had our little debacle. Just let my emotions get the best of me and raced them hard and actually wrecked us both. And looking back at it, that's what cost me the championship. But hey, it happens. So it happens in real life also. So oh yeah, I learned. I learned just gotta let stuff like that go and just keep racing. But yeah, I know I learned a lot of stuff this season. Uh, these cars are definitely. I think these Xfinity cars are the hardest cars to drive out of the top 3 series. A lot of guys are getting better throughout the season. Philip Scott used to. We were just talking about it. Like he used to be fast for like 10 laps and then fall back, but now he's got that long run speed. Uh, yeah, so now he's one of the top contenders every week now, which is kind of fun to see. And Trey just kind of. I don't know what happened to Trey. He ran strong there for the first half of the season. It kind of slowly started fading. But I hope everyone comes back next season. Learn more all together here.
Just say, I know you're taking over a race director position next season, so definitely expecting to see you back on track next season. What are the expectations for you coming into 2023? You hoping probably to race for another championship?
That's everyone's goal when they first start. And halfway through the season, you might realize that that's probably not going to happen. But I appreciate all the guys that stick around that know that, like tonight, man, we still had a good field tonight, even though there was only, 4 cars that mathematically could have won the championship, but we still had a lot of other guys out there racing, and that's what we like to see. I just like good turnouts every week. But yeah, I mean, try out I want green flag racing again next season. So the later half of this season showed that we can do that, and hopefully we can continue that into next season.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing what 2023 brings. Before I let you go, Nate, I'll give you a chance to shout out all the sponsors and people you have that have supported you here through this whole 2022 season.
Uh, First and foremost, we have to thank Justin White for taking over as the whole NSRA. I guess you could say director. I don't know what the right word to use is. If it wasn't for him taking us over, you, me, everybody else that's been racing here, we wouldn't be racing together here tonight, and you'd have an even more boring night broadcasting. Shout out to I think it's Stan Hausman. I get all the sponsors wrong. Stan Hausman with Beer Street Journal for sponsoring this season. I know he's not coming back next season, and so we do have a sponsorship for next season. Don't know if I should say that yet or not, but yeah, we got full sponsorship for next season coming in, and yeah, shout out to all my teammates, Doug, Justin, Adam. Adam made me a better driver this year, even though I usually finish in front of Adam. He's made me a better driver, and yeah, shout out to Justin, Bryce, and Robbie Richards. We brought him in, well, about third way through the season, and yeah, shout out to everybody, just coming out here week in and week out.
And thank you for stopping by and chatting with me. And again, congratulations on a great season here. Wishing you the best of luck tomorrow night. Looking to lock up that truck championship. And best of luck to you in the off season as well. Look forward to seeing you again in 2023.
I can't wait to be talking to you again, man. Have a good night, guy.
That was Nate Maurer, driver of the Redneck Nation, number 971 Simbox Motorsports car. And now is the part of the show where we shake it up. We are going to jump ahead and talk to race leader, driver of the number 1 machine, Jason Gracias, who ties Adam Pettit tonight for the most wins of the season. Jason, you got your 6th win in 2022. I know you haven't been running full time, so that's got to make it even more special to be tied for the most wins of the season here.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool stat. I think I should add a couple more wins, but I goofed. So, but nonetheless, congrats to Adam Pettit for a really good season from start to finish. I think this might be the longest season on record we've done in a while. So, um, good job to him. He was consistent from the start to the very end. Well-deserved championship, and it was a good fight from Nate and Philip. Definitely, those 3 were fighting tooth and nail there that last run. So, hope it was exciting for you guys at home and for you in the broadcast booth.
Oh yeah, you all certainly put on a good race for us here tonight. Green flag from start to finish. We've seen a lot of that coming from you all. Does that come from just you all having been racing with each other for 25 races? And is there kind of that respect built up out on the track where you all know to give each other space, but still racing each other really hard?
I think it's a little bit of that, as well as this being the championship race. So a lot of people were definitely giving room to the guys who worked so hard to be in the hunt and the fight at the very end of the season. Coupled with it was a very cool track out here in Las Vegas. Temps were in the 60s, partly cloudy. So Mitchell, you're a racer. When it's partly cloudy, low 60s, the Xfinity car is naturally tight. There was a lot of grip out there, so it was really hard to spin that car. And if somebody did spin that car, uh, it might have been questionable. so, but yeah, it's a combination of things.
Yeah, good track conditions. 60 degrees in Las Vegas, not something we hear much about, I think, in real life. But in the sim, definitely put on a great show for us here tonight. And looking back on 2022, again, you weren't here full time, but it was a fantastic season for you. I know you're have a lot of stuff going on, but it's certainly been fun to watch you come out here on Thursday nights. And I've asked everyone this. I or the last two drivers we've had up here, I've asked, and I'll ask you the same question. Is there anything you learned during this 2022 season that's made you a better race car driver?
Um, Practice makes perfect. Uh, that's part of the reason why I'm not running full time. Once you're in iRacing and you start off a season, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna have fun, and then halfway through the season, you see that you're almost in the points lead, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I should take this serious. And then having fun turns into practicing, which turns into running laps, watching video, and then at some point, your anxiety gets to you, at least to me, and then you don't have fun anymore. So, if anything, I learned to uh, appreciate the time away from iRacing. I know I do. So I know going forward, I'm going to have the same mentality. If I'm free, I'll race. If not, catch me at a local bar drinking a beer off of beerstreetjournal.com's recommendation list.
Yep, definitely go check out our friends at Beer Street Journal for sponsoring us all season long. They have a lot of good things to check out on their website. That is linked down in the video description. And again, Jason, congratulations on your race win here tonight. Another very strong performance for you. Won two in a row to close out the season. Before I let you go here, I'll give you a chance to shout out any sponsors and people you'd like to who helped you throughout this season.
Yeah, just thanks to Chris Darling at maxgraphics.co for always giving me some really cool paint schemes. I ended the season in one of my well, second or third favorite scheme that Chris, maybe fourth favorite scheme that Chris has created for me over the years. We wanted to break out the camo car, but it just didn't get done in time. So look for that car next season. Thanks to Beer Street Journal for coming on board as the full-time presenting sponsor, allowing us to have these races broadcast and showing our friends and families that what we're doing isn't nerdy. It's actually kind of cool. Thanks to Brookstone Animal Hospital for their lucky dog, NSRA, the admins for all the time they put into this. I know being an admin is a thankless job. I did it in another league, so I feel their pain, but they do a good job over here. Thanks to WRN for the broadcast. Mitchell, you did a good job. I'm looking forward to see the write-up later. It's always a good read and nice to share with other people. And last but not least, this thank you to all of the racers for coming out. And as we got more accustomed to racing with each other, the second half of the season's been nothing but green flag racing. So a lot of fun. It's cool to see comers and goers in the race. A good example today is Pettit started, I think, P7. I started P5, maybe. I don't remember, but it was cool to see us come up through the field and Nate slipped back a little bit, but then at the race, Nate was back in P3. So um, really cool having green flag runs from a peer standpoint. This is a really good championship, but in my head, I'm running under NASCAR rules, so I think I won a race in every round. Therefore, I am the unofficial champion in my head.
We'll let you we'll let you take that unofficial Jason Gracias championship title if you'd like. Of course, thank you for the shout out. Working on the write up right now, actually, about to get that started here as soon as we get off air. So make sure to check that out as well on all WRN social media. It's a great chance for a plug, Jason. And thank you again for stopping by and chatting with me. Congratulations on the race win, and best of luck to you over the off season looking into 2023.
Yeah, thank you. And once again, Adam, good championship. Well deserved.
That was your race winner here tonight, Jason Gracias. But now it is time to talk to the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series champion, Adam Pettit. How does it feel to officially have that title?
Awesome. I'm still on cloud nine after that one, especially after how today went and trying to get here in time and all that kind of stuff. Just glad to super glad that everything worked out and I was able to race, and I it was terrible during practice, and I thought I was in for a long night, but stuck with it, and here we are, man.
Series champion.
Yes. That is my second league championship of my iRacing career. So I will definitely walk around proud with that.
Definitely big congratulations to you again from WRN and everyone. I'm sure everyone we've had in the booth has gave their congratulations to you. Our chat on YouTube has been wishing you congratulations because a 25 race season is a long time to spend your Thursday nights out here on track, and to have it pay off like that, get a really good feeling. And through tonight, like you said, not even sure if you were going to make tonight's race, but got out here. I was worried about you early on, too. Started toward the back half of the top
Yeah.
10, but I mean, like you said, you pulled it together here. Just the more laps you took, I guess, the better that car seemed to get.
Well, I got to give a big shout out to Trey. He kind of helped me with how to run this as far as race pace, and it definitely paid off tonight. I don't know if I would have been able to finish ahead of Nathan and Philip by the points I needed without the help from Trey. So huge shout out to him for that. That was the saving grace, because in practice I was 18th fastest out of 18 cars. Didn't qualify very good. We were using the open setup tonight, and I didn't know how to run it. You don't run it like a traditional mile and a half, which is, as we know, is kind of my strong suit. But obviously, just as each run went on, I was able to learn more and more and just keep applying it. And then seeing Nathan stay out really long on that first run, I think he was like 7 or 8 seconds behind me at one point, and then was able to reel me into about a second. And I knew that I was gonna have to cover that and run long in the second stint to have a shorter third stint, just be able to cover him. Um, that also helped me because Jason pitted, and it was able for me to lead a lap, which is what I know I needed to do because Nathan led a lap, and I had to cover those bonus points. Then I had to keep the fenders on it, so I could get a 0x for a or 5 points for a zero incident race, which was tough at the start of the race because I was mired there in the middle of the pack, and so I had some stuff working against me tonight, but battled through it, and here we are, series champion, and like I said, just couldn't be more excited, couldn't be happier about how everything played out today, because it wasn't looking like I was gonna make it. It took me 2.5 hours to get home from the airport. Got home, my son was crying, so I had to go hold him for a little bit and kind of calm him down, and then came in with like 10-15 minutes of practice left and just worked on long runs, which I was super slow at. But that's kind of my thing, is kind of saving these tires, and it showed tonight. It just, Jason was on a completely different level with that. So kudos to him for the win. Nate and Philip for putting up a awesome battle here in the playoffs. Trey as well. I know luck didn't really go his way, but awesome league. Super proud, because it it was not an easy one. There's a lot of talent in this league, and cards fell my way for this one. So
Yeah, and we talked about it. A fantastic season for you here. You ended up tying Jason for the most wins of the season. 6 wins, 4 poles, 17 top 10 finishes, and 22 starts. Very impressive stats we've seen from you all season long here, Adam. Are we gonna or can we expect to see you again in 2023 here?
well, it's going to depend upon when the league starts. I've got another Thursday league that I think I'm going to start as of next week. So depending upon how long that one runs, will determine if I'm back full time in 2023. If that one kind of eats into it, and it also depends if I make the playoffs in that one or something like that. Then I may kind of have more of a Jason Gracias type role in this league. But the plan is to come back in 2023. We'll just kind of see how things line up.
We certainly hope to see you come back at least a little bit, Adam. Again, a lot of fun here. Gotten to talk to you quite a bit here in the broadcast booth. We've had a lot of nice post-race conversations going on this season.
Yes, yeah, I can't thank anything EC and Angel Wax and Simbox enough for the support on this car, and um, you know helping me throughout the year with just various things, whatever. um it's been awesome to have a sponsor like this. I know I keep changing the car number on them, but I like to have my number the same in all leagues. I'm not a big fan of having 2 or 3 different numbers, and so started off as the 17, and we're able to carry the momentum here as of late in the 83. I know when I first went to the 83, that's kind of when things went south for us there right before the playoffs started. But we got the ship turned around, and you know we're able to put up some very strong finishes. And after last week, I getting taken out there at Phoenix, I don't know if that was on me or if that was on Robert. I probably just should have been more patient, because I think if I would have been able to finish decent there, I don't know if I would have had to stress so much these last couple days if I was going to make it home. But all in all, I did, and was able to pick up the championship, and super super thrilled about it.
Yeah, and again, big congratulations to you on the championship. Fought through all the adversity this season, walk away the 2022 series champion. You already kind of gave some shout outs, but I'll give you the chance to thank anybody else or even those sponsors again who've helped you win this season's championship.
Yeah, big shout out to Stan and the guys over at Beer Street Journal for sponsoring the entire series. Um, they obviously are very crucial for the success of this league, and without them, this wouldn't be here. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to you over at WRN for your broadcast. Again, Mitchell, I say it every time I talk to you. You have amazing broadcasts. I'm really looking forward to watching this one back tomorrow. I love your articles that you do, pre-race, post-race. It's just, all that extra little stuff for me is the ticket. That's what I thoroughly enjoy. So kudos to you for that. Um, and Trey for being my non-manufactured teammate there for the last couple races this year. It was really nice to bounce strategy and ideas off him. So shout out to him, and then you know um, Jason as well tonight for the win, Nathan and Philip for the awesome championship battle, because it really forced me to bring my best stuff. That iron sharpens iron. That's definitely what happened in this league. So big shout out to them too tonight.
And again, a big shout out to you, Adam, our 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series champion. I'll say it one more time before I let you go here. Go celebrate your victory. Again, thanks for stopping by and talking with me again this season. I hope you have a good off season. Hope we can see you again at least a little bit in 2023.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Mitchell, for this season. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You too. That was Adam Pettit, your 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series champion. Takes home the win in the final race. Or, excuse me, doesn't take home the win, but does take home the championship. In the final race here, we will run you through your final finishing order here in tonight's Beer Street Journal season finale at Las Vegas. It was Jason Gracias picking up tonight's race win, his 6th of the season. Adam Pettit wins the championship and comes home 2nd place. Nate Maurer finishes 3rd. Philip Scott comes home in 4th place. Adam Newton, after his first pull of the season, comes home in the 5th place position. Then rounding out your top 10, Justin White in 6th, Robert Richards in 7th, Ira Kohlhaas in 8th, Tom Lester 9th, and Trey Whited rounding out your top 10. Then through the rest of the field, Doug Neal in 11th, Stephen Lachensky in 12th, Jason Shue finished in 13th position, Patrick Morrison 14th, Sam Kohlhaas 15th, Bryce Hunter 16th, Zach Howell 17th, and Brock Whited finished in the 18th position. And again, this is the final race of the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series season. We're going to take a little heartfelt moment here in the broadcast booth just to thank all of you who've tuned in throughout the 2022 season. This is the first series the World Racing Network got a contract with to broadcast, and really, we were started to broadcast the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. I got the opportunity, I think we started talking about it back in December or January, ended up throwing it together, and in March we started with these broadcasts, and 25 races later, here we are, a full season. Thank you to all of you for tuning in every single week. The amount of support we've gotten here at WRN is incredible, and that is because of all of you out there. Thank you so much. And it is on that note as well that I will announce that we are still finalizing things, but in 2023, the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series should return to the World Racing Network. That looks to be basically set in stone. We're just finalizing a couple of the scheduling and all that stuff, I believe, behind the scenes, but you can expect this series to return here on the World Racing Network Thursdays of next year. Want to thank the National Sim Racing Association as well for all the support they have given to the World Racing Network in 2022, and we are looking forward to bringing you these races once again next year in 2023. And of course, we have to thank all the sponsors as well, because we could not be doing any of this without the support from all the sponsors that we get. Again, if you are interested in sponsoring the National Sim Racing Association in 2023, they are always looking for sponsors, and you could be promoted by me and the World Racing Network. So Beer Street Journal, of course, has been the title sponsor of this season. We cannot say enough how crucial Beer Street Journal has been in 2022. We could not have done this without them. So a massive shout out to Beer Street Journal for all their support. Please go give them some love. Their link is down in the description. Max Graphics, also a sponsor this season, as are Stay Tuned Sports, Simbox, Brookstone Animal Hospital, who we could not give one of those Lucky Dog Awards away here tonight because we went green flag all the way to the end. Taz Racing Customs, J&R Craftworks, and Eclipse Photography, all of them have made it possible to bring these races to you this season. Thank you to all of you again out in the chat. Here tonight, Sean Kosher says, been fun to watch this season. Thank you for broadcasting. You are very welcome, Sean. Thank you for tuning in. Very glad to be spending my Thursday nights with all of you. Stan Hausman, Will Radcliffe, Joe Moore, Ryder Leangle out in the chat. Stella, Simtrax Broadcasting, everyone else who's tuned in here tonight. Want to thank you all for sticking it out through the post-race show. Please, if you enjoyed the stream tonight, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the World Racing Network. We have some big things in the works Not quite ready to announce that yet as well at the World Racing Network. But if you follow us on our socials at WRN Broadcast, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will see all of that. Those fun things when we announce them. And that is going to do it for the final broadcast of the 2022 NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in and all the support for all the people I've had in the booth with me this season. I've gotten to work with a lot of great people. Patrick Morrison, Chris Darling, Tyler Belanger. All of them helped make this possible this season as well. Looking forward to 2023, but until then, I hope you all stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next year.